Hi, welcome to yoga. This is going to be a roots and foundations class today. This is normally how we end class, but today we're starting out lying on our backs in our Savasana position with our feet about mat width apart, just resting our hands along our sides, palms facing up, closing the eyes if we feel comfortable with that. Becoming aware with our roots beneath us, listening to our breath. We'll inhale, filling up the lower part of the lungs and then the upper part, feeling that breath move through our bodies. And then exhale, pouring out that breath, letting it go. And considering, what is our foundation in? What do our roots cling to? How are we fed? And what gives us the ability to grow? We'll bring our right hand to our belly and our left hand to our heart. Let's just feel that heartbeat. And let's feel the breath move through our lungs. The rise and fall of our belly and our chest. And here in this stillness, maybe expressing gratitude for all the things that our body does on its own. Maybe expressing gratitude to a higher power. Saying thank you for this time to rest, this time to be present. Moving into wakefulness, we'll start to wiggle the toes and the fingers. Bending our knees, we'll just rock side to side with our knees into our chest. Placing the palms on the tops of our knees, we're gently going to inhale, pressing the knees away, extending the arms. And then exhale, bending the arms, drawing the knees back into the belly. Inhale, extend. Exhale, pull them back. Starting off slowly in class today, let's find that rhythm of our breath. Keeping the right knee hugged into the chest, we'll extend the left leg out across the mat, just stretching the side of the body. And roll the ankle if that feels good. We'll switch legs, hug the left knee into the chest, extend the right leg out across the mat. We can keep the eyes closed or open them, it's up to you. Moving into our bicycle kicks, just extending one leg at a time, alternating back and forth the leg that's extended, just letting that heel hover. We're using the core to keep our stability and control. Moving slowly back and forth. We'll come to stillness and set both feet flat on the mat. Bringing the knees together, taking a deep inhale. And exhale, knees over to the left side of the mat. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the right side. Inhale center. Exhale to the left. Back and forth with the breath. On each inhale, we're meeting at center. On each exhale, we're falling on either side. These are our windshield wiper legs with breath. Just a very small twist. Great little hip massage. And breathing through. Just enjoying this time. There's no rush, no need to hurry. Let the knees fall over onto the left side of our mat, tucking our left arm underneath the head. Taking a couple of breaths here in our baby pose. On the next inhale, gently pressing up off the floor into our easy seated pose, or Sukhasana. If we're uncomfortable here sitting with the sits bones on the floor, you can place a block or a blanket or a pillow underneath those sits bones to elevate the hips. We're going to relax the jaw, inhale the shoulders up to the ears, exhale down. Just gently move the head around in a circle, relaxing the neck and the shoulders. Just whatever feels good, listening to the body. We'll come back to center, placing the fingertips on the mat with the arms forming a triangle position with the earth. We'll open the heart and lift the eyes up toward the sky. We can just gently move those fingertips back a little bit, opening the heart even more. Finding our stopping place when we're ready, letting that light fill our hearts. Enjoying each breath. Bring the hands level with our hips. Extending the left hand out across the mat, we're going to inhale the right arm up, stretching through the right side body. Exhale down. Right fingertips on the mat, walking away from the hips. We'll inhale left arm up, stretching from the hip to the fingertips. Alternating from side to side with our breath. Listening to our bodies, honoring them, taking our time. Feeling that opening between each rib and between the ribs and the hips. Feeling the extension through the arm. We can start to go deeper if that feels good. Bring our feet about hip-width apart. We're just going to lift the hips straight up in the air into a forward fold position. So bending the knees generously into the heart, relaxing the head and the neck. We'll just shake the head no, maybe nod the head yes. Feeling the lengthening between each vertebrae in your spine. Grabbing either elbow here, allowing that weight of our arms to just gently bring the shoulders into a relaxed position. We'll let those arms shift from side to side. Letting the hands fall down toward the earth. It's okay if they don't touch. We'll walk the fingertips over to the left side of the mat, stretching through the right side body. Gently coming back to center and then over to the right side of the mat. Gentle twist here. And coming back to center. We'll alternate bending and straightening the knees, stretching the legs. If it feels good to come into our forward fold a little bit deeper, we can grab onto the backs of the legs, pull our hearts toward our shins. On the next inhale, we'll reverse swan dive up. And then exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale up. Exhale, swan diving down. We're starting to calibrate that blood flow. And if we ever feel lightheaded or dizzy, just taking our time, taking a break if we need it. We'll inhale tall, exhale back into our chair pose. Inhale, little back bend, exhale, chair. The back bend is optional. It feels really nice, opening the heart. Feet are still hip width apart. And exhaling, thighs are engaged, core is engaged. If we need to rest the hands on the thighs, we can do that, or we can keep the hands at the heart. And then we'll exhale into our chair and we'll just hold here, lengthening through the spine and breathing, drawing those muscles in our thighs toward one another for stability, keeping the shoulders relaxed. On the next inhale, coming up, inhale tall through the nose, exhale down through the mouth, letting the arms form a cactus position. Bringing those arms down, we'll spread the feet a little bit wider than hip width distance, coming into our moonflowers, pointing the toes away from the body, bending the knees in the direction of the toes. We'll exhale, bringing the elbows into the ribs, and inhale, lengthening those arms out across the room and straightening the knees. So breath with movement. Each inhale is extending, each exhale is crunching in. Then we'll find a little bit more fluidity with our sunflowers. So painting those petals in the air, letting the arms relax, gently scratching the ceiling with the fingertips and then sweeping the floor as we exhale down. Inhale, hands above the head. We'll bring the palms down together to the heart. Finding the hip width distance again with the feet, we'll exhale down into our forward fold. And starfishing the hands on the mat, all 10 fingers spread wide, about shoulder width apart. We'll step back into our downward facing dog. Feet are about hip width apart. And we'll bend the knees generously into the belly, allowing the spine to lengthen. And then start to warm the legs up a little bit, bending each heel one at a time. pressing the heart toward the toes, letting the head rest there between the shoulders. Just taking our time with it. If our heels don't touch the floor, that's totally normal. Inhale forward, stacking the shoulders above the wrists. And exhale back, down dog. Inhale, forward plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Back and forth, and we're using the core to lower the hips and then to lift them up. If we need to drop the knees, that's totally okay. On that movement into our plank, we're pressing the earth away from us so our shoulders are strong and engaged. If we're in our full plank, our hips should be fairly level with our shoulders. We'll find a static plank here, holding a little bit longer. Breathing through it. And then exhale back, downward facing dog, allowing 3 breaths here. Gently lowering the knees to the mat. We'll press the hips back toward the heels into our extended child's pose, resting that space between the eyebrows on the mat. If that's uncomfortable, we can stack 2 fists beneath the forehead or find a block or a pillow to place there. And if you've never tried it with a prop before, it might be a good opportunity to try something new. The next inhale will come into our neutral spine, shoulders above the wrists, knees beneath the hips. Finding that wonderful cat-cow flow, we'll tuck the tailbone, reach the spine toward the ceiling, and draw the chin into the chest. Exhale, the tailbone curls out, belly relaxes down toward the floor, and the chin comes up toward the sky. Always starting with the tailbone and ending with the chin. Just articulate the spine, keeping those strong shoulders, breathing. On the next inhale, coming back into our neutral spine, we'll move into our hip circles, sending the hips back toward the heels and then over to the left side of the mat, around to the right side and back toward the heels. We'll go around again. Great stretch there in the hips. Moving into the opposite direction. Going around one more time. Coming back to center when we're ready. Coming into our neutral spine and then walking to the top of our mat into our forward fold. Moving into our Sun Salutations. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. Exhale, we'll find our chair pose. Utkatasana. Inhale, tall. Exhale down, swan diving forward fold. Stepping back with the right foot, stacking the left knee above the ankle. We'll gently drop that right knee onto the mat into a low lunge. On the next inhale, stepping back with that left foot, finding our extended child's pose. Inhale forward, kneeling plank, core is engaged, knees are a little bit behind the hips. Exhale down, kneeling crocodile, elbows brush past the ribs. And inhale, opening the heart for our cobra, little bend in the elbows. And then exhale back, extended child's. Inhale, walk forward into our forward fold. And exhale. Inhale into our half lift, nice long spine. Exhale down, forward fold. We'll inhale, reverse swan diving up. Exhale into our chair, moving into the opposite side for this kneeling version of the sun salutation. Inhale tall, exhale forward fold. Stepping back with the left foot this time, dropping that left knee onto the mat. Right knee stacked above the ankle, taking a breath here, feeling the stretch there in our thigh. Stepping back with both feet, pressing the hips to the heels for our extended child's. Inhale, kneeling plank, core is engaged. Exhale, kneeling crocodile. Opening the heart, little bend there in the elbows, and exhale back, extended child's. Walking to the top, forward fold. Take a breath, and then inhale, half lift, long spine. Exhale down, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan diving up. Exhaling, chair. Moving into a little bit more advanced flow, we'll step back with our right foot this time. Keeping that right knee elevated, left knee stacked above the ankle. Inhale, hands to heart. Extending through the back heel, we'll bring those hands onto the earth, finding our downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, crocodile, rocking forward on the toes, opening the heart into our upward facing dog, and then tucking the toes, hips up toward the sky, downward dog. Walking to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale. Inhale, reverse swan diving up. Exhale, find our chair pose. Inhaling tall. Exhale, forward fold. Moving into the opposite side, we'll step back with that left foot. Right knee stacked above the ankle, hands come up to the heart on our inhale. Extending through the back heel, we'll starfish the hands, step back, downward dog. Heart toward the toes, hip toward the sky. Inhale, forward plank. Exhale, find our chaturanga, crocodile. Inhale, tall, upward facing dog. Heart is open, little back bend. Curl the toes, downward dog. Moving into our forward fold. Take a breath. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, reverse swan diving up. Exhale, finding our chair pose. Thighs engaged. Inhale, tall. Exhale, swan diving down. Stepping back with the right foot, moving into a little bit more of an advanced flow. Inhale, hands to the heart. And if we'd like, bring those hands up above the head into a crescent lunge. Back bend here. Core is engaged. Legs are strong and sturdy. Sweep those hands down, starfishing them, step back, down dog. And then raising the right leg up into the air, three-legged down dog. Inhale, forward, three-legged plank. Exhale, three-legged crocodile. And open the heart, upward facing dog. Tuck the toes, hips toward the sky, heart toward the feet. Down dog and walking forward, forward fold. Inhale, find our half lift. Exhaling. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. Exhale, find our chair again. This is our last half. Inhaling tall and exhaling down, calling that heat into our body, stepping back with the left foot. Right knee stacked above the ankle for our lunge. Inhale, hands to heart. And then up above the head for our crescent. We'll sweep those arms down, starfishing the hands, stepping back with that right foot, downward facing dog. The left foot comes up in the air, three-legged down dog. Inhale, forward, three-legged plank. Three-legged crocodile. And then we'll open the heart, upward facing dog. And tucking the toes, lifting the hips upward, down dog, and walking forward, forward fold. Inhale on our half lift, keeping a long spine, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale down. Into inhale, reverse swan dive up. Exhale. Find our cactus arms. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Let the heat go. Inhaling tall. Exhale, arms down to our sides. Wonderful job. We should be pretty warm now. Really using the breath to warm the body, lubricate the joints, and prepare the muscles. Move into a breathing exercise that's really wonderful for letting go of any tension or stress, any kind of negative emotion that might cause negative energy within our bodies. So we'll move into our twisting breath, bringing the feet a little wider than hip width distance. Place the fingertips on tops of the shoulders and then twist. Elbow forward, inhale halfway, elbow forward, inhale halfway, and then extend with the arm on the exhale. And we want to exhale through the mouth with sound. So we inhale, elbow bent, inhale halfway, elbow bent, exhale, let it go, arm extends. Inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale, inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale, letting that energy out of the body. Relaxing the arms, just kind of letting them move from side to side, relaxing the hands. Bring the feet about hip width apart. Starfishing those toes. Our weight is in the heel and the sole of the foot. We'll inhale, arms straight up in the air, palms facing one another, relaxing the shoulders back and down into our volcano pose. And we're breathing here through the belly. Inhale, letting the belly expand. Exhale, drawing the navel back toward the spine. And I turn sideways so you can see it maybe a little bit better. Inhaling, expanding. Exhale, contracting. We should feel a good amount of stability here in our core, feeling those feet firmly on the earth beneath us. And as we breathe, letting that breath and that heat that we call into our bodies be kind of like the magma within the volcano. Exhaling the arms down to our sides, preparing for our tree pose. We'll shift the weight into our right leg, soften that right knee, and then bring the left foot to the ankle, the calf, or the thigh. Only place that we don't want to put that left foot is on our knee. We don't want to press into that joint. Coming into this balancing pose, especially practicing being aware of our roots, we should find our weight in the sole and the heel of our right foot. Right toes are spread wide. We can do whatever we'd like to with our arms. We can inhale them straight up into the air, relaxing the shoulders back and down. And as we stand here in our tree pose, perhaps considering a tree that is planted along a stream, you can hear that stream bubbling and gurgling. Or maybe it's rushing past us. It's providing us with what our roots need to grow. And our leaves have plenty of sunlight. We can feel that life move from our roots all the way up to our fingertips. Slowly exhale, hands to the heart, and then gently release that foot from the leg. Shifting our weight into our left leg, soften that left knee, bring the right foot to the ankle, calf, or thigh. If it helps to find a focal point, we can gaze into that place, finding something to rest our eyes on, concentrating. And then inhale, hands up toward the sky. Remembering our breath. Trees grow very slowly, practicing patience with ourselves. Gently exhale the hands down to the heart. Release the foot from the leg, maybe roll the ankles just a little bit. Bring your feet hip width apart. Coming into our mountain pose, Tadasana. Palms open at our sides. We can close the eyes here. And just breathe through the nose. Strong, fortified. As we breathe, feeling the breath and the energy that the breath gives us move up. And exhale, give weight to our feet. And as we inhale, feeling that lift through the arch of the feet, moving all the way up through the body, into the crown of the head. And then exhale, moving back down again through the body, into the feet, finding our gravity and our weight. We'll spread our feet apart wide into our standing straddle stretch. Inhaling the arms up toward the sky, exhale, sweeping them down into our wide-legged forward fold. We can spread the feet apart as wide as we'd like to, whatever is comfortable for you, keeping the feet fairly parallel. Grab either elbow and just gently maybe sway from side to side. Releasing those hands down toward the earth, pointing the toes on the right foot. We'll walk the hands over toward that right foot, stretching out the right leg. And if we can't touch the foot, that's okay. Pointing those toes forward again. We'll come back to center and then over to the left leg, pointing the left toes. Breathing. With the next exhale, slowly coming back to center, pointing those toes forward again. And on the next inhale, reverse swan diving up. Exhale, hands to heart. Bring the feet just a little bit wider than hip width distance. Going to drop down into our Garland pose. So if coming into this position is not accessible for you today, we can place a block there underneath the sits bones, or we can avoid the position, rocking onto our backs, finding our happy baby pose. Here in our Garland pose, taking deep breaths, pressing the hands into one another, and letting those elbows open the knees a little bit wider. Lifting the eyes toward the sky, opening the heart. We'll extend the right hand out past the foot, letting those fingertips rest on the floor, and then open the left arm straight up toward the sky, following it with our gaze. If we'd like to find a bind here, we can reach those hands back around that right knee. Releasing the hands, following that left hand back toward the earth with the gaze. And we'll move to the opposite side, extending the left arm, fingertips touching the floor, right arm reaches toward the ceiling. And finding an optional bind here if we'd like to, interlacing the fingers around that left leg. If the fingertips don't touch, we can always use a belt or a strap or maybe a tie. Releasing the fingers, come into our Garland pose, and then lift the hips up toward the sky into our forward fold. Just bending one knee at a time, shifting the hips from side to side. Preparing for our gorilla pose, we'll tuck the fingertips, palms facing up, all the way under the feet, so the toes are touching the wrists, bending the knees generously. We'll exhale, and then inhale, straightening the legs, tucking the chin into the chest, feeling that wonderful stretch all the way through the spine. Exhale, knees are bent, chin releases from the chest. Inhale, legs extend, chin tucks in. We'll exhale. If you'll notice, we've formed sort of a diamond position here with our arms. We'll inhale, reverse swan diving up. Nice deep inhale, little back bend. Exhale, back down, forward fold. Starfishing those hands, stepping back into our neutral spine and preparing for our neutral spine twist. We're going to extend our right arm level with our body and slowly inhale, opening the heart, bringing those right fingertips up toward the sky. Following the fingertips with our gaze, once we find our stopping point in our twist, we'll slowly lower those fingertips back down toward the earth, planting that hand firmly beneath us. Move into the opposite side, this time lifting the left hand, slowly opening the heart. And then exhale, lowering that hand back down, planting it on the earth. Sending the hips back toward the heels. We'll inhale the hands up above the head into our thunderbolt pose. Vajrasana, interlacing the fingers, bringing the palms to face the ceiling. Bring our attention now to our new roots beneath us. Feeling that lengthening as we breathe through the core. Slowly exhale those hands back down toward the earth. Now tucking the toes so we can stretch our feet a little bit, we'll move into our past and future breath. Bringing the hands to the heart at our present. We'll inhale deeply. Exhale, let the left hand come over to our side, letting go of the past. Inhale back to center. Exhale, right hand over to our side, letting go of the future. Inhaling back to center. And exhale here in our present, allowing ourselves to be here now, be wakeful. Releasing those hands down toward the earth, crossing the ankles, we'll rock the hips back, extending our right leg out across the mat. Left knee is bent into the chest, preparing for our seated twist. We have the option to cross the foot over the leg or to keep it here at our side. Inhaling tall. Exhaling, slowly sweeping the heart open with the left hand, and finding a resting place with the head and neck, breathing in our twist. If we'd like to come a little bit deeper into the position, we can sort of hook that right arm around the left knee, opening the fingers wide. Small breaths here. Slowly exhaling, twisting back to center. We'll open up on the opposite side for our reverse twist. And then exhale, coming back to center, extending the right leg out across the mat, bending the left knee. We can keep the foot there along the leg, or we can cross it over. I frankly couldn't remember what I did in the first twist, so I crossed the foot over. Inhale, lengthening, exhale, twisting into our pose, supporting ourselves with the left hand behind. We can just hug that right leg with our left arm, or we can hook the arm there around the knee. Breathing. Just taking our time with it, we'll slowly exhale back to center. Inhale, twisting over into the opposite side. And exhale back to center again. Extending both legs out across the mat into our staff pose. We'll rest the hands next to our hips, engage the core, and lift through the heart. If we are bending over in our spine here with the legs extended, let's bend the knees a little bit, allowing the spine to lengthen, just like we would in our forward fold. We'll exhale, rocking back onto the floor, knees to chest. Letting those knees shift side to side. Plant both feet on the earth beneath us. Becoming reacquainted with our foundation. Bring the heels about hip width apart. On the inhale, we're going to lift the hips up toward the sky into our half bridge. Core is engaged, glutes are engaged. Let's pretend like we're trying to draw the feet toward the shoulders. And if we'd like to go into our full bridge pose, we'll just tuck the shoulder under, lift the hips a little bit higher, interlace the fingers beneath our hips, lifting up toward the sky. Remember that in our bridge pose, we always have two bridges. We have a bridge directly beneath our hips, a really big bridge, and then we have a little bridge there between the neck and the floor. So we don't ever want to press the neck into the earth, maintaining a space there to protect it. Release those hands, slowly lower the hips back onto the mat. Rocking the knees from side to side, lovely hip massage. Then we'll extend the legs straight up in the air, engaging the core. On the count, we're slowly going to lower the heels, letting them hover. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then inhaling, lifting those feet back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we'll move through it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lifting those feet back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bringing our legs to stillness, we'll find our work rest pose, relaxing the upper body, allowing the lower half of our body to do all of the work. Breathing here, finding rest in this balance. Turning the palms upward. Lowering those legs back down toward the earth, we'll extend the arms up above the head. And on the next inhale, finding our stick pose, reaching the fingertips as far as we can away from the toes, stretching up across the floor, taking up space. Then we'll exhale those arms down by our sides, palms facing up, into our Savasana pose where we began, keeping the feet about mat width apart. We'll rest here for the next couple minutes, coming into our quiet stillness, letting the tongue fall from the roof of the mouth and relaxing the jaw. Allowing ourselves to melt into the earth. Giving each part of our body, each cell, permission to relax. Quieting the mind. And if it wanders, gently guiding it back to the breath. Feeling ourselves lifted up by the earth beneath us. Allowing our gravity to give us weight and presence. Allowing even more space to come into the lungs as we exhale. start to wiggle the fingers and toes. Roll the wrists and ankles. Welcome that awareness back into our bodies. Let the head shift from side to side on the mat. As we're ready, moving from our death into our life, coming into our baby pose, letting the knees fall onto the side of the mat. As we rest here and breathe, we'll prepare for the rest of our day. Lifting up off the floor into our easy seated pose. We'll inhale tall. Exhale through the mouth, letting that breath hit the back of the throat. Inhale, hands to sky. Exhale to the heart. I am present. Inhaling up. Exhale, I am open. Inhale tall. And exhale once more, I am awake. Inhaling tall and folding forward on the exhale. Peace be with you. I hope you have a lovely day. Thank you so much for practicing. I really enjoy making these classes, and it makes me so happy when people enjoy them. Feel free to subscribe to these videos if you'd like to see more, and give it a like if you had fun. If you have an idea for a class, go ahead and post it in the comments, and I'll take those into consideration.